Hey, this ain't a drill. Only time I plan is on the field. And when I'm on the field, no, I got mad skills. And you know we bout to eat this a fast meal. Y'all gotta pay for this heat like a gas bill. We keep on coming back, so yeah, they mad still. 716 make them pay me some bad bills. Red, white, and blue like Superman, so you know we eating at the Super Bowl. Kill the competition, set up the funeral. Josh Allen catching all the shots you go for. We callin' blitz. Ready to start, we ain't calling no quits. I'm the #1 draft pick. A lot of y'all talk, but I ain't hearing it. Only listen to Keyshawn and talk about the Bills. Dominating on the field. All our players got them skills. Buffalo gon' make a kill when we talk about the Bills. Dominating on the field, and our players got them skills. Buffalo gon' make a kill.
What's going on? Welcome back to another live episode of the Post Podium Podcast home.
Hey, this ain't a drill. Only time I plan is on the field.
No sodium takes. I am your co-host, Aramis.
What it be like? 40 Keys.
In the house. Look, we got a lot of stuff to get to. Keys came ready today, and he's got a lot of stuff to get to for sure. I don't have a ton of stuff, so I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna let you take the lead, bro. What you got today?
Okay, I'm glad you said that because last time I'll be remiss if I do it again.
Okay.
Paul Tagliabue in memorial.
Yeah.
All right. Passed away on November 9th. What was that? Sunday? His key accomplishments was league expansion. He added the Panthers, the Jaguars, the Texans, Ravens, all under his watch, and expanded the league from 28 teams to 32. He championed the NFL Europe and international games, expanding the league's worldwide footprint. So you see us playing in lovely places like Germany and London and Brazil and all the places in between. That was an effort that was championed by Mr. Tagliabue. The labor stabilization. He negotiated long-term collective CBAs, ensuring labor peace and revenue-sharing balance. He was a leader in the media evolution movement. He launched NFL.com and NFL Network. He laid the foundation for the league digital era. He also was in charge of the crisis leadership movement during the 9/11 and Hurricane Katrina efforts to bring the communities and NFL teams together to have continuity of play and give people something to focus on in times of turmoil. Mr. Tagliabue passed away at 84. He was the commissioner remembered for his steadily stewarding principled leadership and expansion that shaped the modern NFL. So rest in peace, Mr. Tagliabue. I remember when he took over from Pete Rozelle. And the only reason I remember that is because my mom used to say his name all the time. I'm like, Tagliabue, what kind of name is that? That's a name for you. And, and so we go on to who we have now, Roger Goodell, who everybody loves so much. We all know that we love Roger. And also, this is outside of the scope of football, but this is my realm. Lenny Wilkens. Living in Buffalo, TBS Turner Broadcasting Station, that's out of Atlanta. So in that, you got all the Atlanta games, like we had the Knicks games on the Madison Square Garden channel. Mm-hmm. The Omni, I remember it. I was like, the Omni, that's an interesting name. Dominique Wilkins, Kevin Willis, Mookie Blaylock, like all those guys playing under Lenny Wilkens. And this guy reminded me of my uncle. He looked just like my uncle to me. And my mom knows who I'm talking about, I think. And she'll text me if she doesn't. But Lenny Wilkens was a quiet architect of basketball greatness. He played for the Sonics. And he was also the coach of the Dream Team in 1992. He was an assistant coach on the Dream Team. He played in the NBA from 1960 to 1975, coached from 1969 to 2005. How did that happen, you ask? He was a player coach. He had a historic 79 championship with the Seattle Supersonics. Yes, everybody that's cheering for the Sonics, they are not Oklahoma City Thunder. With over 1,300 wins and countless lives touched, Wilkins did not just coach basketball, he touched and coached character. Lenny Wilkens passed away on November 9th as well at the age of 88. Okay. You know one of my favorite songs?
One of your favorite sons?
Yeah.
You have so many songs.
I know. But this one is actually, it's not current, but it's closer.
Okay.
I got the keys, baby. Oh. The snowman is getting the key. God. He's getting the key. Hey, this is groundbreaking stuff. Deion Dawkins receiving the key to the city of Buffalo in a symbolic honor, recognizing both his football excellence and his community impact. On the field, he's a longtime Bills left tackle. He's one of the longest tenured Buffalo Bills we have active at this time. A Pro Bowl leader, vital to Buffalo's resurgence. Yes, he was vital to the resurgence of what we see on the field these days. Off the field, founder of Deion's Dreamers. He's active in schools and hospitals, champion for youth and underserved communities. The symbolism of Deion Dawkins in this key. It represents the Buffalo's gratitude, and he's not just a Bill, he's part of the city's fabric. So he is from New Jersey, but never mind that. He's from Buffalo now.
Okay. All right. Who we got in the comments here today? We got a bunch of people so far. Joey, what up? Billy D, what up? Let's see. Daniel's in there moderating. ATL, what's going on? Billy D.
ATL shouting.
Mr. Migo, Juice Box, what's going on? Laura, what up? Thomas, what up? Hot Wheels, what up? Roy, what up? All right. So let me just get this out real quick.
Hey man,
and then
be your team. We'll talk about it.
You want to go from there?
Talk about it.
So I think this game for this game against the Buccaneers is part of a 2-game linchpin for the season.
What's up, Randy?
Right.
Yes.
What's going on, Randy? And I wanna stress how important it is that we accept what happens if they lose. Right? We need to be clear about the direction of the team at that point and their chances of even making the playoffs if they lose these next 2 games, right? Because you're talking about a franchise that is struggling offensively to score points, not just move the ball, to score points, period, right? The Buccaneers defense is really no joke, to be quite honest. They are hold on. Where are my rankings for this season?
The Buccaneers defense as a whole, I can tell you why you're the placeholding because PFF doesn't matter, but they're 10th on the PFL scale.
They're 10th in the NFL against the rush. They're 11th. Let me see. They're 7th against the pass. Right. The last time we played a defense that good was the Patriots. The Patriot game, and before that, it was the Saints. The Saints had a top half of the league defense, and we didn't look so good against them either. So when I say to you guys, like, really just be honest and allow it to wash over you. Not those of you that are watching, because y'all already know, but for anybody else that's just curious about this show, just let it wash over you and accept what it is when you see it happen. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, the Bills going to Houston, if they don't beat the Bucs, not happening. This team is not gonna get up in 4 days for a game in Houston against that defense, especially the offense. Right now, here's why I say that. When you look at what happened in Miami, you hear some people making the excuses of, well, it was very humid down there and it's hard for the players to adjust and all that kind of stuff, right?
It was humid in the Miami game?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, okay. Let's do this. Where is most of our players from these days?
South. Florida.
Enough said. So they're acclimated.
Yeah.
We don't do Nebraska no more. We don't do Iowa anymore. We don't do those teams. We do Southern boys. We do people that came up in the trend. My dad told me the story of how they used to play basketball in the court and his shoes would get stuck to the court. Mm-hmm. They had to play at 6 o'clock in the morning just because it was too hot by noon to play basketball outside. So these guys are used to that and worse. There's a reason why the Miami Dolphins can play in that and we can't. I don't want to hear anything about the side of the field and all that stuff. We played them in November.
Yep.
This is November, 80-degree weather. We have that in Buffalo. I don't know if people are in Buffalo or not, but 80 degrees in Buffalo is just as humid as it is down there.
Yep. So I want to play a clip for you guys.
Let me crack my Steve Weiser. ASMR.
I want to play a clip for you guys of the post-game press conference from Sean McDermott, and then I'm going to make my point, right? And what I want you guys to be listening for is what side of the ball Sean mentions first and how he talks about both sides of the ball, right? It's very quick, so just bear with me here. Let's go ahead and bring that up, and I want to go ahead and play this. Here we go.
Make sure they can hear it too.
I know. I don't think. Oh,
that's not.
I didn't play
crazy.
A complimentary game. We came out, started slow.
Okay, back up.
Okay, give credit to the Dolphins. We didn't play well enough today, and didn't play a complimentary game. We came out, started slow. We had 4 or 5 3-and-outs there in the first half. Picked it up a little bit in the second half, turned the ball over. Defensively, I thought we did some good things. And then we gave up 2 big runs towards the end there.
Okay. So very, very quickly, that's all I needed y'all to hear. What did he say first? He said we had some 3-and-outs, right? He talked about trouble moving the ball. He started off talking about the faults of the offense. It's the first thing he mentioned. Then what did he say? He said, I thought we played pretty good defensively. Right? Like the reason you lose the game in the second half is not because you're stopping the Dolphins. It's because they're just not executing in the second half. Your defense was not elite at any point in that game at all. Right? It was a matter of drops, or it was a matter of like them messing up. It wasn't you forcing anything, forcing their hand on anything. My point in bringing this up is this team moves as the head coach moves. And we've said several times, specifically after playoff games, that this team acts as the head coach acts. And I actually had a chance to kind of go back, and I started reading back through the Tyler Dunn report, the McDermott problem, part 1. And there's a quote in here that I wanted to give to you guys, and I wanted to play this clip before I give you this quote so that you could understand this happens still, right? This is from a coach that used to work for the team, okay? Tyler Dunn says he's described repeatedly as a blamer. Coaches see a boss who preaches accountability while taking none himself. Okay? He has never managed to truly connect with the most important player on the team, Josh Allen. Now, it does go on to talk about, a specific example of, Sean holding other people to standards that he doesn't hold himself to, right? And I'll get to the whole, grandiose point of all of what I'm saying in a second, so bear with me. Now, the example that Tyler Dunn gave talked about a point in time before a holiday where Sean McDermott did not allow guys to schedule their flights before 4:00. They had to work their entire day, then they could leave and go hop on their flight so that they can get home to their families. Now, in general, most other teams, it's Friday, you're about to fly out anyway. Have a good time, man. Happy holidays, whatever the case may be, right? At the end of that day, that Friday, there were coaches who were still walking around looking for Sean McDermott. Couldn't find him. He was already gone, right? And this is something that has happened on several occasions. Sean McDermott was even in an interview talking about how he slept in the office and saying that in a way of, trying to emphasize how he sacrifices. And the coaches is like, I don't know how many times I tried to look around for, because I had a question. I couldn't find him. He don't sleep here. like nobody would ever advise him to do that. If anything, that's counterproductive, right? So my point in all this is, if you think for 1 second that what we saw against the Dolphins was just a one-off, any given Sunday type of deal, I think you're fooling yourself. I think the players openly saying that they wanted it more than we did is a clear indictment of the head coach and the job he's doing there. It speaks quite specifically to a disconnect between the players and the coach. And if these players are not getting up enough to play for this coach, then it sounds to me like they're making it very clear what they want to happen at the end of the season. And ultimately, I think that ends up in a playoff miss. But let me know what you think about that, because to me, it makes perfect sense. I still hesitate to think that Pegula is going to think to fire Sean. I do think it would take, losing 5 of the next 7 games, but so be it. Que sera, sera. What do you think, bro?
And listening to the press conferences, listening to all the things that they're putting out on social media, these interviews and such, it's so much deeper than I ever thought. This is a disconnect from, well, there's a lame duck top, so that doesn't exist. McDermott has a vision, but he doesn't share the vision with Brady.
Right.
And Brady doesn't share the vision with Josh. So there's a three-way disconnect there, because there's a hierarchy. You have, excuse me, I'm getting better. It sounds worse, I think, probably now than it was, but so you got your star quarterback who has no hope, who shows he has no hope, who is not even the best player in his offense right now. I don't care what anybody says. He's not. You have an offensive coordinator who's talking about we need to I should have thrown more. Why didn't you? So, but then I'm thinking that's when I go into what we talked about on Monday. Haphazardly, I went through it, but I'm going to go through it again because I can feel my brain now. But anyway, so McDermott sleeping. See, when you initially said it, I likened it to the way the corporate world works. And I'm trying to disconnect my own values, because I don't have a problem with them working on the holidays, because I have for the last 20 years.
Right.
But
right, of course.
But if I'm talking, I'm gonna walk it. But in thinking about how corporate world works, my first job, I work on the holidays with my directors. They're not there. They take off, and we're still expected. We don't sit there and say, I'm getting paid handsomely to do this thing. So I still got to show up, and I got to show out. The coaches got to show up and show out. Yeah, your boss isn't here, but he left you the blueprint. He left you the lesson plan. Follow it. That's the way I look at that. But to your point, the bigger issue in this whole thing is the fact that nobody knows whether they're coming or going. Nothing makes any sense.
Exactly.
This Mecole Hardman thing, Sean McDermott wants speed. Bean doesn't bring speed in. He brings Keon Coleman, Gabe Davis, Joshua Palmer. He brings those kind of players. So then you got Brady. I don't know if Brady wants speed, if he wants to run. I don't know what his real. I know what he's done. But in 2.5 years now, you would think, he would try to come away from that 12, which actually worked for Josh. It worked. So I can see. So it's a big mismatch of stuff. If your quarterback's not happy, he's not executing it. Joe Brady had a couple of sound bites that really made me think. Like, let me go back to this here. Let me pull it up. I didn't think I was gonna get here just yet, but I can always slide over.
Of course.
Hey, I'm flexible. Not anymore.
Ew.
Pause somehow. Joe Brady says he has to be better. You think? Yeah, you're actually right. You do have to be better. That's not a cliche. You have to do it. He said we're seeing. This is me. Everybody talks about separation. Everybody talks about this person's not good. That person's not good. How did they get there then? How did they get there? Why is it that when they get to Buffalo, not Keon Coleman, not Joshua Palmer, not Elijah Moore, not Khalil Shakir, we get these guys in the iteration under Joe Brady, and they can't do anything. They pretty much suck, even though we know they don't. He goes on to say they haven't gotten an opportunity to utilize speed. What does that mean? We have Joe Brady out of his mouth. Go listen to this. He said, and it's a quote, I haven't had the opportunity to utilize the speed. So if you can't utilize the speed, one, this is what tells me where Joe Brady is. Joe Brady has to go after this year. He has to go. I don't want to hear about this Bean stuff. How Bean, are you still on board? I feel bad for him because he could have went. Bean could have went. So, anybody don't believe that? Whatever. Go play with some tiddlywinks.
What are tiddlywinks?
Oh, it's a ripping game where you have these like little plastic discs.
This man really just said a ripping game.
Oh, it's the most ripping game. You have these little plastic discs, and what you do is you kind of like push down on the edge with the plastic disc to the other plastic, and it pops up. It flips. Yeah, tiddlywinks. Anyway,
it's unbelievable.
So Joe Brady, he says, some of it's not getting open, but some of it's not getting to your checks, and he also said record means nothing.
Who said that?
Joe Brady. Record means nothing.
In reference to what?
I have no idea what he's talking about. They're talking about 6-3 losing the games, and he's like, record means nothing. This is the concept, the culture that we're pushing now. Now everybody gets a participation trophy. Now everybody gets to. So I mean, this is where I don't hold people harmless for saying stuff like this. I'm not a consumer directly, but I invest time in this. I mean, all the research we do for this show. Trust me, I don't want to be negative.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I don't want to be negative. I want to watch a pro. I want to be a rah-rah guy and be happy with you guys. I want to be like, oh, man, did you see? But what I'm reporting to you is what I'm seeing on these broadcasts, on these podcasts, on these pressers and interviews, and it's just not pretty. Let's see, what else did he say? They asked him, is getting open a skill or is it a play? He said, depends on the play. You hear that? Joe Brady out his mouth said, it depends on the play. He said what he's saying is some plays you call are they give the receivers artistic license, if you will. Whereas some plays are real rigid where you have to release a certain way, even though you don't really want to. Sometimes we call man beaters and we should call the zone. Sometimes. Why is it the Buffalo Bills make the offense so hard? Why is it that everything in our playbook has to be so difficult?
Because Sean McDermott wants to win a certain way. And
the thing is, if you take the job, you're on board.
Mm-hmm.
You better figure out how to make that way work. You better figure it out because 2.5 years in, it's getting old to me, and it's getting worse.
Yeah,
and that's the thing. It's getting worse. Laura says she hasn't heard Tiddlywinks since 1982. She knows about it. She knows. Oh wait, we got to put these in because I got to show people what people are saying in the comments here. Oh yeah, boom.
Yeah.
No, but that's the thing. Like at this point, this is how I look at it, and I know it's not going to happen. But when people say bring Dayball back, fine. And who's not going to get to play? James Cook. But guess what? James Cook ain't got no yard incentive. He ain't got no touchdown. He got playoff incentive and percentage of snap incentives. He got paid. My boy got paid. I didn't do it, but he's still cooking. So I would sacrifice that now, just knowing that it's in the back pocket. Because think about the upgrade in Dayball's offense from Devin Singletary to James Cook.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a massive weapon that he doesn't have in his arsenal that he didn't have his first iteration. It's not happening. I know that. But what I'm leaning towards is getting somebody, because Brady's not going to be here. He's not going to be here next year. He's going to get a job somewhere. He better take that job.
Yeah, he's leaving. I don't. He's not staying regardless. Did you watch? Not that you ever have to, but did you watch the show I did on Wednesday?
I did not. I was at work.
So Joe Brady's mannerisms and the things that he was saying in that press conference, about running on first down and the faces he was making and all that kind of stuff. Like you could tell he was trying to put it on blast, the style of football that Sean McDermott wants to see.
Mm-hmm.
And that even folds over into some of the stuff that you hear from Brandon Beane and draft picks like Keon Coleman, right? You get draft picks like Keon Coleman because Sean McDermott wants big physical guys, right? Sean McDermott wanted Kelvin Benjamin, right? That was a McDermott deal. I want a big physical, a guy that can block, a guy that's hard to cover. But like, okay, if that's what you wanted, then you should have traded up for Marvin Harrison Jr., a guy that can actually run routes pretty decently and would benefit from playing with a quarterback as good as Josh.
Faded up.
Huh?
Faded up.
Yeah.
How about just make the trade last week?
Yeah.
Hey, Arizona, what's up with Marvin Harrison? Bills, go to hell. How about 2 first-round picks? So cool. We got our wide receiver. That's how easy that works.
Yeah,
that's how easy that works.
Now, here's the thing with wide receivers before I forget, because for as much love as Sean McDermott is giving McCole Hardman, let's be clear about exactly who this guy is. His best season with Andy Reid as his offensive coordinator and Mahomes as his quarterback was 609. I'm sorry, it was 2023. 83 targets, 59 catches, 693 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
That's his best season. He had a success rate of 60.2. His best success rate was I'm sorry, that would have been 2021, not 2023. And then a year later, he has a better success rate at 61.8. The reason I don't. Well, let me do this first. Right? Because we already have a guy on our team that's basically the same player in Elijah Moore. Elijah Moore's best season was 2023.
What year was it for McCall Harmon? I'm sorry.
2021 was his best season.
I'm about to say 2020 at 8 drops.
Yeah. Yeah. But how many in 2020?
2020 had 8. I'm sorry, 2020 had 8 drops. 2021 he had 2. He had 3 in 2023.
Yep. Elijah Moore in 2023 started 12 games, played in 17, had 104 targets, 59 catches, 640 yards, 2 touchdowns.
I got a lot on Elijah Moore, and I can tell you, Aaron Butler, my guy, Baltimore Ravens, but he's still here. Hey, talk your talk, baby. I don't care. Come on over.
Hey,
we good.
Y'all coming back. I got to give it to you, man. Y'all got a shot.
Yeah, I mean,
sure.
you get your quarterback, and look what happens. Let's see. It was somebody else that said something I forget, but where was it? It was somebody I haven't seen in a little bit, but I'll just say something again, and I'll talk about you. But yeah, no. When you look at Elijah Moore, I actually was watching a lot of all 2020 because I want to know what he was.
Mm-hmm.
Elijah Moore is so misused right now. He's so misused right now.
Heavily, bro.
I mean, if we don't put him on the outside,
yeah.
Stop this. You know what, Elijah Moore, I think he has 14 targets. 8 of which are those Khalil Shakir moves.
Mm-hmm.
They're all those screens, those short comeback, that nothing special,
right,
at all. Like, so
yeah.
I mean, there was a play where I don't remember. I can't even set it up for you, but there was a play in a Miami game where we ran a dagger route. I'm learning routes now. Ran a dagger route, and Laura knows what I'm talking about. We talked about it earlier in the conversation where it was not Khalil Shakir. It was Curtis Samuel and Keon Coleman. It was supposed to be a dagger route. What that means is Samuel's on the inside, Coleman's on the outside. Samuel's supposed to outrun Keon, and Keon's supposed to slide behind him.
Mm-hmm.
They're running in tandem. So either Keon Coleman threw the 40 time, or Curtis Samuel just ain't got it on the field because they're in tandem to the point where the break where Keon's supposed to have, there was none because he would have ran right into the guy.
Ooh.
So I'm watching this stuff and I'm saying, this is not a player's skill level. This is attention to detail.
Yeah.
They're not precise on their route running. And it's not because of them, it's because they don't have the timing done. In no world, even if they're the same speed, should they be side by side in that route. Keon Coleman has to sell it like he's running fast, but he's got to pull a little off and then cut in. And Samuel's got to haul ass it out. But in whatever reason, we don't have that kind of moxie out here. I don't know who the wide receiver coach is now, but get another one. You got to get another one.
Yeah. I just want to leave this question out here because the thought that I had when you were talking about what you were saying was, if the timing is that far off, what are they doing in practice? What have they been doing in practice?
Working on handshakes.
And probably working on the screen game, right? Because that seems to be the most put together play that they have, that they are able to, throw out there a few times every single game, right? And when you think about how difficult passing down the field looks, that should probably tell you they don't do it very much in practice. If that's the case, that would explain the injuries to, Shakir that seem to happen in practice, for Shakir and plenty of other players. It seems like we've gotten more practice injuries this season than any other season that I can remember. And Sean McDermott's on the podium talking about how, you know, he's not sure how this has happened, but, you know, he definitely wants to, you know, find out why. Well, it happens because you continuously make the environment in the building so difficult for people that they just want to leave. Like Eric Ciano was the longest tenured coach of the Buffalo Bills of any of the coaches that were here and or left. He was here for 16 years helping this team stay healthy.
How's his replacement doing?
Sucks. It's the most injuries we've had in any season at any point in time, both long-term and short-term.
Mm-hmm.
He sucks.
Yeah, and that's the thing. When we hired him, I think I made a joke about it. I said, okay, so this guy's going to help him get hurt, but they're going to get healthier faster. Where Ciano kept them from getting hurt, but they were hurt longer. I'll take the former.
Exactly.
I'll take the former, please.
Exactly. And that's the point I'm making is that you had people in this building. Okay. Case in point. We've all been talking about, man, Brian Daboll should come back and save Josh, right? Imagine if Sean had made the atmosphere and the environment a mutually beneficial deal for himself and Daboll. Imagine if Daboll left here on good terms. Wouldn't it be the greatest thing in the world for Brian Daboll to come back and work with Joe Brady this season, like Vic Fangio did when he left? I forgot what team he left, but he ended up going and working with the Eagles. They ended up winning the Super Bowl that year, which was last year, right? And now he's the defensive coordinator there. Like, wouldn't it have been so serendipitous that the guy who gave us the best offense we've seen here ever, literally ever, numbers are better than the K-Gun, right? Wouldn't it be so serendipitous if that guy comes back as a consultant and, oh, Joe Brady wants a head coaching spot in college. See ya, Brian Daboll's back. We could have had that if it wasn't for Sean. And I'm even willing to say, even if Sean had stayed, if he had just made things better and wasn't such a damn narcissist and trying to make everything about him and his defense all the damn time and trying to influence the offense as much, like, because that's the other part of this. We're getting pissed off at Brady and we're saying Brady should be fired. Who hired the guy? Because we were saying all the same stuff about Ken Dorsey. We fired Ken Dorsey. We got Brady here. It was good for the last 6 games of the season under Brady. And then the following year, it was a little bit more of what Sean wanted, a little less of what Brady wanted to do. And they ended up having to switch that up after they lost to Baltimore and Houston, right? They lose to Baltimore and Houston, they start changing things up, right? So they had to go back to some of the stuff that Brady wanted to do last year just to be able to get forward to make some movement on offense, right? Having Amari Cooper there also helped. But this year, it's almost 100% of what Sean McDermott wants to do on offense. And we're seeing it doesn't work in today's NFL. Yeah. When are we going to stop blaming the guys that he hires and start blaming him?
Well, of course, he had a role in it. I mean, it's funny because you said bring Daboll back and work with Brady. I just want Brady gone. I ain't gonna lie to you.
It's got to start somewhere. That's all I'm saying. I don't mind Brady either way, to be perfectly honest, because I know so much of this offense is handcuffed by what Sean wants to see in the run game.
Yeah, I get it, but I mean the run game, and the thing is, the run game actually worked. So, but to make the run game work, you got to run play actions, you got to do your bootlegs, you got to do all sorts of stuff to mask the run game. And if you look at how they talk, Sean McDermott always said, you know, he never made it seem like he didn't want James Cook back. It was never a we'll see what happens. It was like, yo, yeah, we want Jumbo back. Yeah, we want Jumbo. You know, Bean's like, we like to have him back, but it's got to be a fair. And McDermott probably, I can see him like, the hell you just say? Did you just say we would like? No, make it happen. You know, at the expense of Khalil Shakir, at the expense of whatever, make it happen. But I think the iteration of offense with regards to what we're seeing is it's just they built it wrong. I could see a world where McDermott's game plan works, where what he wants works to run first, second, third. Because if you look at it, did you know that we are the second lowest passing team in the league? Mm-hmm. We're the only team below us. They actually run more than they pass. They actually run more. They pass 49%. The only team below us.
Okay.
We pass 52% of the time.
Who is that team?
I have it here.
Wait, let me guess. A team that runs more than they pass the ball. It's not the Jets.
Mm-mm.
It's not the Jets.
Mm.
So it would have to be runs more than they pass. Who runs more than they pass? Oh, the Cardinals? No, it's not the Cardinals. No, they got guys to go to. I think the Broncos might be close.
Let me see. I gotta look it up because I don't know if I wrote it down. But yeah, I looked it up and
I'm
I
even
saw.
willing to bet the Texans. Because DeMeco Ryans is another one of them guys. Like DeMeco Ryans fired Bobby Slowick.
Yeah, he ain't playing no games.
Yeah. Bobby Slowick is the best thing that ever happened to CJ Stroud. And look what's happened to that offense since they fired Bobby Slowick. They can't move the ball.
You probably fired him because he wanted to leave. He's like, oh yeah, I'll beat you to the punch.
No, a lot of people say that Bobby Slowick was still about a year, maybe 2 years off from being in real consideration and contention for head coaching spots. But when you look at the results that he had, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. Really what that comes down to is you had a defensive-minded head coach that wanted to be strong running the ball because he feels like that's what wins, later in the season. Okay, fine. But this is still a passing league. As much as you want to try to bring back the 1990s and be physical and run the football, that's not how you win games. That's how you close out games. So, as a defensive-minded head coach, your approach should be, I want to be strong enough to close out games with the run, but not what Sean is doing, not what DeMeco Ryans is doing, where that's the focal point of your offense is establishing the line of scrimmage and being physical at the point of attack and all these other, euphemisms that basically say, I want to see the kind of old school football that I grew up in and that I appreciated. And for Sean McDermott, it's personal. Mm-hmm. It's personal because all of this style of football that he wants to see is connected to his dad. How long are we going to have to keep paying for that?
Right. Yeah, no. And Kev, our next gen stats, we run 49% and pass for 51%. So it's pretty much even. The only team that is lower than 50% passing is Seattle.
Wow.
Seattle.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And so, they got Darnold throwing for 300-400 yards a game.
Yeah, they run 53% of the time.
And they went and traded for a receiver.
Mm-hmm.
They run the ball more than the Bills do, and they still went and traded for a receiver.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They got a guy that's leading the league right now in receiving yards in JSN.
Mm-hmm.
And they still went and traded for a receiver. One wasn't enough.
Nope.
I don't understand how we've gotten as far as we've gotten. And this is part of the reason why I've always hated the talk about how successful the Bills have been the last 6-7 seasons of football. Because when you really look at the landscape of the AFC as a conference and you look at it and you compare it when we first started out to where it is now, there was so much turnover when Josh Allen first came on and Mahomes first came on and Lamar Jackson first came on. There was nobody to compete with us. There were no other quarterbacks in the AFC. Everybody else was in the NFC, and they all had to scrap for it just to get there, right? And here we are taking advantage of a horrible division, winning pretty much every game minus maybe one here and there for the last 6 seasons anyway, before this year. And what do we have to show for it? Right? We're in this position now where things seem like they're so difficult for the team. Why? Because the rest of the AFC has caught up with you and you did nothing to put yourself far enough ahead to stay ahead of them and be dominant against them the way that you were when you first got there. That's the problem. You got complacent. And me and you have been sitting here screaming for the last 3 years, do something before everybody catches up on you. And here I am before the season starts saying, watch out for the Patriots. That's my dark horse team. They might be scary good this year. They're playing a last place schedule. They've got a quarterback and an offensive coordinator that's won Super Bowls. They've got a guy in Mike Vrabel who's been to multiple Super Bowls, knows how to win big. They had a defense last year. Now they got Steph Diggs. And, oh, by the way, you didn't want to pay Mac Hollins $500,000 more than what you offered him, so he left. And here you are letting people believe that he just wanted to go somewhere else.
Guess what? We signed Elijah Moore. Guess what? We signed Joshua Palmer. And combined, never mind Steph Diggs, they're not Mac Hollins. I'm willing to bet you that 2 of Mac Hollins' games are better than Elijah Moore and Joshua Palmer's career season so far.
1,000,000%, bro. Like I didn't emphasize this enough. But to be clear, what I was told was that Mac Hollins wanted to stay.
Oh.
And the number that was offered to him was 1.5. He wanted 2.
Mm-hmm.
That's all he wanted 2.
Mm-hmm.
He would have stayed for 2.
And how much did Elijah Moore get? 3.
Well, 5.
Well, yeah.
with signing bonus.
Yeah,
but
this is like me talking about, when you get your paycheck and it's gross and net.
Yeah.
I don't even look at the gross. I don't care about that part. I ain't never gonna see that.
I was gonna actually put
right. What's in my pocket? What is tangible?
That's right.
So for $500,000, I got to see for 106 yards.
Yeah,
I got to see a man blocking and celebrating as Travion Henderson is on the 50-yard line about to score.
Yep.
As he was doing that for James Cook last year. I got to see. I'm not going to get into that yet. That's later. You about to derail me, man. But I like this comment by Aaron. He said no longer have a Diggs type track to track the balls down. Diggs' value to Allen was way more than being a top receiver. That skill of tracking is something different and extra. Baltimore Ravens. Okay, fine. That's his hashtag. Baltimore Ravens. I like it. Whatever. Make your profile purple. But yeah, I mean it's true. People act like you could just find this anywhere. Anybody can do this. So like Steph said, they said the offense could be better without you. He said, you sure?
Exactly.
He's over there tossing the ball to cheerleaders. His pregnant girlfriend is up there with the other 3 pregnant women, and they all doing this here and all. But it works.
Yeah.
But you can't have that in Buffalo.
Yep.
Because the field production is nice, but where's the Cleaver side of them?
Mm-hmm.
Where's the Dennis the Menace side of them?
Yep.
Where's the good old boy side of them? You don't have that. But I don't care about that side as long as you're not doing the pink stuff while we playing in the game. You know what I'm saying? But if you're not doing that, I don't care about if you're not getting in trouble. He's not getting in trouble. With the law.
Mm-hmm.
He just got an affinity for producing the world. He's sowing his royal oats. Whatever, not my problem.
Right.
He's still on the football field.
That's it.
I mean, they almost erased him when he on that onside kick.
He erased him.
When did you see it?
No.
Why is he on the hands team first of all?
Well, because he got hands.
He's like 32 years old. You should have saw how he landed.
Yeah,
he didn't get up.
light.
He was like, oh. It was like a whole congregation around me. Like,
damn.
Oh, because he jumped. He went like Micah Hyde way up.
Oh, he got flipped?
He didn't flip.
Oh.
But he got hit midair and he landed, yeah.
Dang.
And at 25, no big deal. At 30, 32.
You sore getting up.
Yeah, he's going to feel it. He's going to feel it. Yeah, go ahead.
I thank you for this, Mike. If I can call you Mike.
You can.
I might not be able to.
I know who it is. You can call him Mike.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Mike. So it says, according to the NFLPA report card, Bills players rated the training staff a C. I got to look up this report card actually now because I'm very curious about this.
Oh, yeah. They said our travel accommodations are Fs and this is a C. I can tell you what traveling is not what I thought it was. It is not at all. I think I said this is a year or so ago. But working in that field and seeing what they go through. I mean, it's not like something that you're like in kennels or something like that. But when you go on the plane and you see all the snacks they get and all anything you want, but then when I have to actually work it and see them coming in, and they got to check in, they get assigned seats. There's like everybody and their grandma on the plane and they're like cramped in. I'm like, oh, I thought they had their own rows. I thought they got the chip. No. They look just like us when we travel commercial.
So the Bills in 2024 were ranked 23rd out of 32 teams by the players. 23rd out of 32 teams. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a team that won 13 games last season. And according to this, people were not happy about it. Like, not saying that they're specifically not happy about winning, but the environment, 23rd out of 32 teams. That is huge. When you got a quarterback like Josh Allen, when you got an offense that was scoring 30 points a game, eight games in a row down the stretch, when it's a team that made it to the AFC Championship game and you're 23rd, that is insane. What are the other grades? So
the travel was an F. The facilities was a C. The cafeteria was low too, I think.
The cafeteria. So food dining area was a B-. Oh,
wasn't too bad. Okay.
The training room was a B-. I've seen the training room. I saw it after they redid it. It's nice. It didn't, like, they were talking about it like it was like this new state of the art. Like it looked all right. Yeah. Like I've seen similar stuff in gyms around it.
You probably got it. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Treatment of families B+. That's major. That's major. The weight room got an A. Okay, so here's the ranks out of all 32 NFL teams. So treatment of families, the Bills were 9th. So they treat families pretty well. Okay,
they better. With the culture they built, they better. Yeah. They got a flag football game for the wives. We've seen this.
the food and dining area, 20th out of 32 NFL teams.
I just thought about this. I know it's a sidetrack. We need to get T, Caitlin, Christina, and Dan's wife. We got to get a flag football game going for all of them with somebody else. We got to have this. I just want to see T play football. Wives and girlfriends football game.
How did any of this spark that thought?
Because I just said the treatment of family and the wives and girlfriends football game. I would pay to see these women running around trying to play football.
That sounds a little misogynistic.
No, because I know them, and I know T would be complaining the whole time.
Oh, of course.
I think your wife would be fine.
I don't want to throw this stupid football. That's what Tiana would say.
Yes, she would.
Yeah,
she would. Your wife would be fine.
Yeah, she would like it.
Yeah. Christine actually would like. Never mind. She
might actually try to play. Like, she might actually try to win.
They would like it.
Extremely competitive. My wife is extremely competitive.
Yeah. Never mind. No, I'm not, Nate. No, I'm not. She knows exactly where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
Trust me. She would have beat me to the punch. She would have been in the hallway. I ain't doing that.
So, all right. So nutritionist, dietitian is 27th in the league. The person who picks the food, basically.
And Billy D wants Big Wax and come up in Buffalo.
No.
He wouldn't survive.
He would not survive.
He wouldn't survive.
No. He would bust an artery after 2 weeks of working with this nutritionist.
They give this man Paula's donuts on the sideline. Like, yo, have another one.
How did he get to 500 pounds?
He's really going down.
Right. Coach, I don't know. I'm just doing what they tell me to do. It tastes great, though. I tell you that.
I love it here.
Man, half the stuff they gave me was fried. Okay. I said, all right, I'll put it down as long as it gets me on the field. The locker room, 16th in the NFL. Training room, 20th in the NFL. The training staff from last year, 27th in the NFL. 27th in the NFL.
That's Seattle, right? Last year was Seattle, right?
See, yeah. That's why I was kind of surprised by that.
Well, because they only see him if they're hurt, and he can't get them back fast or something, or maybe he's too. Yeah, that's probably what it is.
Yeah, so that might be what Sean was going off of. Trying to give Erica a hard time about this rating and what that says about the team and all. Because I can
see that.
Sean is all about the perception of the team.
And I mean, I get it. If the players are saying 27, I get it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's understandable. And Eric is probably like, screw this.
Right. I know what I'm doing.
Right.
Like,
you don't do enough to help me. Okay, fine. Because that's what Shady says. You don't do enough to help me. You look at this line I'm running behind.
Right.
All right. So weight room, they did get a great grade. They got an A, and they ranked 7th overall in the NFL. The strength coaches, they got a B+. They ranked 23rd in the NFL. And team travel, as you pointed out, F-, 32nd in the NFL, last in the league in team travel. I would think a guy like Pegula is all about, making, because of the community that he enjoys so much, the family environment. Like, you already take care of the families. Wouldn't you want to make sure that the players enjoy the best of the?
See, that's what I don't understand. I don't understand how it could be so bad. I really don't, because what happens? Okay, let me let you on this game here. The Seahawks have their own plane because they fly the most out of the whole league.
Mm-hmm.
The Patriots have their own plane because in New England they want to rub your face in their trophies every time they come to Buffalo.
Of course.
I think they have 2 of them. But everybody else leases a plane from a commercial airline.
Mm-hmm.
So in we'll say Miami, because that's an American hub. They send Miami a plane. So they'll send them a 67. They'll take it out of service, send it to them in American livery. And so what that means is it looks like an American plane.
Okay.
And they load it up. They fly to Buffalo, we'll say, unload. And then once they get everything off, they take the plane, put it back in service, and fly it out. So it doesn't stay here while the plane's here. So when the plane gets off, it leaves. And then it basically spins the block and picks them up. So when they come back, you got to do a security search, all this stuff. It's not even the same plane. It's a different plane, but it's the same library, same company. And the Bills used to use Delta. They're all 767, so the plane size is no different.
Yeah.
So I don't.
And that's not that big.
Not for all the people they put on those planes.
Yeah.
I mean, because you think they put just players? No, it's Sal Capaccio's and that
Chris
his
Brown
equivalent,
and
Chris
people,
Brown's, and the coaches, the chaplains, the family. They have the AV squad. They have all these quality people. They're all on the plane, so these planes are full.
Yeah.
So, and I've worked these planes before, so I know there's no different. I don't know if it's they don't see the way they come in on other teams and stuff like that, or maybe they came from Seattle or New England, which we don't have those players.
Right.
College, I think college is pretty much the same, but yeah, they don't have their own plane, so I don't understand that great.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Maybe it's the hotels they stay in or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a number of things.
Yeah.
But yeah, 32nd in the league is bad.
That's bad.
Oh man. Oh man, I'm so glad this is here. Do you know
It's gonna be bad.
This tells it all.
Mm-hmm.
Head coach.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think Sean got?
C-.
He got a B.
Got a B.
Do you know where that ranks in the NFL?
A B?
In 2024, the year they made the AFC Championship,
I'll say 18th.
27th.
A B?
A B ranks 27th in the NFL.
There's
only 5 more teams worse than that, bro.
They didn't think this was anonymous, did they?
Yo, you know how bad that is? Your head coach was ranked 27th in the NFL.
Yeah, I want to know where the worst coach got. Like, I don't even care who it was. I just wish I knew what he got.
Don't
worry about it. No, don't worry about it.
Yeah, we would have to search one by one.
That's a lot of stuff you gotta do. I don't even care who it is. I'm just like, how low did the scale go? Because if like the lowest was a B-, like, okay, y'all ain't telling the truth.
Yeah,
y'all scared.
and then ownership got a B, and that is 17th in the NFL for ownership.
That's the one that gets me. I mean, for me, Belichick would have got a Q. And he won Super Bowls. So I mean, like, my thing is like, whatever. People keep signing here.
But if he's winning, like, again,
I know.
It's different if he's winning Super Bowls. For me, this is huge because this is a guy who seems to be losing his team, and the message seems to be getting stale. And they're losing games against teams that they shouldn't be losing against. They're struggling to move the ball and score points against teams that they shouldn't be struggling against. And now you find out that the players don't really like the coach. I'm going to go at, we can move on and get to what you want to get to, but I'm going to go back and look at the rankings for the previous 3 seasons. I want to see, you know, how bad this has been for how long. This is interesting stuff.
Yeah. I had one thing before we get into the crux of what I was going to get into. I'm not going to get into Keon Coleman's separation set in third, but I did hear a podcaster say something about Keon Coleman. And it wasn't excuse me, it wasn't anything that was alarming when you really think about it, but his major contention was Keon Coleman plays 71% of snaps and he wants him off the field. He said he doesn't deserve to be on the field for 71% of the snaps. Because Khalil Shakir is number 2 at 60. So what I say is, does anybody know why that is? Let me give you a hint. Where did I say we fell in terms of how often we throw the ball per game? The run pass ratio is what?
Wait, I'm sorry. I just have one correction. I sincerely apologize. So the rankings we just gave are for this year. I'm so sorry. I was saying that they were for 24. I'm looking at 24 now.
That's not the worst thing in the world. It's fine.
I wouldn't say that, but
why is it a lot worse than last year?
No, it's actually significantly better last year. They ranked 11th out of 32 teams last year. So this year they ranked 23rd. Last year they ranked 11th out of 32 teams.
That's what I'm saying. You sincerely apologize, but you didn't hurt anybody's feelings. It's fine. It's cool. No, I was going to say, you know, people have to be careful with that stat.
Which stat? I'm sorry.
I'm talking to myself. Well, y'all heard me right now.
No,
I'm
you were
joking.
talking to them.
No, I'm joking. No, Keon Coleman's. I heard a podcaster say that Keon Coleman playing 71% of snaps is ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
And that, and being that the next closest wide receiver is 60%, so 11% difference in snaps. Now let me ask you this: knowing that the Bills' run to pass ratio was 52% pass and 51% pass, 49% run. What do you think that Keon Coleman was on the field doing a lot of? He's blocking. He's blocking, folks. Keon Coleman is used, and if you listen to what Bean said, if you listen to what McDermott said, mostly Bean, which is why I really don't understand who wants what. Who's on first, what's on second, I don't know. But Bean said we're very happy with what Keon is giving us. McDermott said, yeah, there's areas of improvement. Keon is our best wide receiver, best blocking wide receiver. And he's on the field as such, because you're not gonna put Khalil Shakir out there as a blocking wide receiver. You take him off the field in 13 situations.
Right.
They leave Keon out there. So why don't we go ahead and ask Mr. James Ephraim Cook III? That's not his middle name. I just added it. You know, he's not here to defend himself. The thing is, does it work for you? Are we running to the side? What are we doing? You know, because we throw the ball to Keon a fair amount. Yes, a fair amount. 49 targets in 9 games now. So that's not egregious, as people say we're forcing him the ball. We're really not. He's averaging four targets a game. That's nothing. But that's where it gets weird for me. I'm wondering, what is the communication between these two? Because one person, McDermott, wants to display this thing that he likes or doesn't like, but then the other person that's supposed to be in lockstep is displaying this other notion, this other message, and I'm trying to figure out which one am I supposed to listen to. That's why I don't listen to press conference anymore, because they don't even speak the same anymore. They're not even in lockstep. Joe Brady's saying this thing over here, Bean's saying this thing over there, McDermott saying another thing over here. Who's the source of truth? Who's running the offense? Yes, we know it's McDermott's offense, but what are these other two guys' purposes? You know, because if the guy that's running the offense isn't pleased with something, then it should have been changed. It hasn't been, evidently.
Right.
So, I mean, hate it or love it, it is what it is. They want him out there for blocking, and it's not going to change. They're not going to put Elijah Moore out there to block. They're not going to put McCole Hartman out there to block. They're not going to put Curtis Samuel out there to block. He'd probably be off the field again in no time. So it is what it is. And for Gabe Davis, they say he can block, but he can't run routes. Keon Coleman runs better routes than Gabe Davis.
Yes, he does. He's got a bigger route tree too.
Yeah, he's got a bigger route tree, so he's more of a threat.
Yep.
And last I checked, he's not dropping a ton of balls. Last I checked, the balls that are being thrown to him are not as catchable as they could be.
Right.
So what I wanted to do is I wanted to address a elephant in the room. It was brought to my attention. I don't know if you knew this or not, but we were on a podcast. We were on a podcast.
Yes, we were on a podcast.
I didn't know I was on a podcast, but I was on a podcast as well. And my name was brought up on the podcast. So people that know what I'm talking about, it is what it is. I'm not going to mention names of the podcast, but you know who you are, and the people that saw it know
you can
who you are.
Mention it.
No, I'm not going to.
I'll mention it then.
Okay.
We gotta, we gotta keep it. We gotta keep it even. We gotta keep it even. We gotta keep it respectable. You know, we gotta stay above board.
Okay. Okay.
Go ahead. I'm gonna let you go.
No, if you want to mention, go ahead. I mean, but
so we were the podcast we did was Monday, right?
Mm-hmm.
The video review portion that we were doing on Monday got brought on to a friend of the show,
mm-hmm.
Tommy, who does Mafia Sports Report, brought that portion of our podcast onto his show to discuss with his co-host Mikey. What'd you think about that, Keys?
Yeah. No, I mean, I have an issue with it because I was told by somebody that was watching the podcast. I wasn't told I was going to be on a podcast. I wasn't told anything that I said was going to be on a podcast.
Yeah.
And I wasn't allowed to rebut what was said and what was not said. So here is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it now. I'm going to go over those plays again.
Okay. All
and,
right.
and which one is this here?
This is the first sack. Hold on a second here. Bam. Okay. So
I like to thank that podcast for giving me a concept. And thank you, YouTube, because guess what? They just proved my point with this concept.
Okay.
What we have here. Okay. So we have trips right. And now I actually can see I'm not cloudy anymore. I feel better. So I can kind of display this a little better for you. You got trips right, which is you got Samuel, you got Shakir, and you got Coleman all over to the right side of Josh Allen. You got Ty Johnson to the left of Josh Allen. Excuse me. Okay, so what we're gonna see here, you can fast forward a little bit. As a matter of fact, can you slow it down the taste to I'd say 50-ish. Okay. All right. So what we see here is you're looking at Ty Johnson going in motion. Josh Allen's trying to decipher what kind of defense we're looking at. He didn't get anything he liked there. So what he did was he said, okay, I see Judon's coming. So Ty, come back in. I need to max protect. So now he's telling David Edwards that there's a blitz coming from the left. Slide the line to the left. Keon goes in motion. They're showing zone here. Now Josh knows he has a zone. Okay, so we're going to stop right here. This is called a mesh rail concept. A mesh rail concept is just this. You have a route that opens up the defense, which is what Samuel is doing. You have Ty Johnson, who is the rail. But the rail concept is taken away because he was max protecting. So Ty Johnson, that's in essence, is supposed to run a mini wheel route out to the flats. Okay, so
which makes sense because you got Coleman running
yep.
This guy off the line of scrimmage.
Yep. So what the read is in this regard, and if you're going to argue with Ben Kurt, who is a college and pro quarterback, you can, but I'll let you do that. What you have right now is a mess. You look at Kincaid. I'm sorry, is that Knox or Kincaid? That I don't remember. I think
that is Kincaid.
Okay, you got Kincaid and you got Shakir coming what's called a mesh/rub route. New England made this happen all the time. New England likes to pick play basically. So what Josh's read is he's looking high, then he's supposed to look at the rail, which is not there. So what happens here? His read is sped up to the mesh. So you can play it now. Stop right there. What was said on the podcast was you can't throw that ball because the ball would have doinked off their heads.
Oh, you're talking about to
the mesh, which would be Shakir. And where's Shakir looking?
To Josh.
So Can he? I mean, would it be a first down? Maybe not. But that's a throw he could have made. He could have made that throw.
What was it down in distance here?
This is third and 7, I believe.
Okay.
Also, if you look at Ty Johnson,
you're saying instead of taking the sack, get the ball to Shakir and maybe he can do something.
That's the move. Either one of those guys, because Shakir right now is the one you could throw the ball to.
Shakir or who? Kincaid?
Kincaid would have been the rub. So actually, this is supposed to go to Shakir.
Okay.
So you can fast forward now or keep going. All right. So if you go to the end zone, this is the play you love. I think this is the play you love so much with what the hell is McGovern doing?
Yeah,
I believe they did some weird twist at the last minute, and McGovern got completely lost. However, Josh Allen at the bottom of this, if you look at it, they're saying slide left. The blitz is coming from the other side. If you look here, the pocket is there. Ty Johnson has Judon. He actually had him. Josh Allen can step up in the pocket. So you go step up right there. But see, what he did was he committed to the run. By committing to the run, he ran into Siler. Your read has to be quick. You know you're going to get hit. You're going to get leveled, but they're both looking at you at the top of your route, but he's already committed. I'm out of here. I don't like what I'm seeing. I'm going. Which, do I blame him? No, because that's what he does.
At this moment right here, right there. I'm sorry. That's too far.
Mm-hmm.
So
right there.
Right here, he's looking at this opening because he sees the double block here. What he didn't know is that McGovern was going to freaking play ring around the rosy with this block that Torrance has got going right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame Josh for seeing a lane and trying to get free of the rush.
Yeah,
but
no, I'm not blaming Josh for the play, but I'm saying like that was the read he's supposed to make. And this is a contest of people saying he's wide open. There's nobody ever open.
Yeah, this
is that rub concept that you have to know is going to come free. Would you have got the first down? He probably thought he's going to run for 7 yards or whatever the case may be. It's tough. It's very tough. But would you rather have a 4-yard loss or a 4-yard gain? You might want to open it up. It's semantics. Yes, I know, but you don't want your quarterback to get hit without making.
I mean, ultimately, both are punts. You know what I mean? Like that's the only thing that bothers me about.
No, I get it. Maybe. But see, the thing is, for me, if you go for it, that Kincaid right there, Kincaid would have been a first. I think he would have caught it and turned up and got 2 yards. He would have had to get 2 yards, basically fall forward.
You sure?
Yeah.
Let me see here. God, this play is so long.
Right there. See, he's on the 39. He had to get to the 41. The reason why I don't like the secure pass as much is because he had 2 guys beating down on him for the sticks. And we see Kincaid, turn up and fall forward. So I think that was a better move. But see what this is this plays into one of Josh's weaknesses, throwing anticipation. I mean, that's going to come open because that's the play concept, the rub for Kincaid.
Well, I get what you're saying, but what you're doing is you're looking at what happened and you're saying based on the play that was called and what was run and the defense that was called, this is the play that this is where the ball should have gone. But I think what that doesn't take into consideration is what's happening here in the pocket is burning a hole in Josh's brain.
Well, we know. I mean, I get that part, but that's the thing I'm saying. When in this instance, you're going to get hit. You set your protections up. You know where they're coming from. You diagnose it correctly before the snap.
Mm-hmm.
You got a mesh coming. That's your read.
Well, he also didn't know his whole offensive line was going to shift without understanding who was coming at him.
So in that case, for that question, I wish we had Damaris, because that's something where you need to know, like when they alert, when they check, is there a stall? Is there a moment where you're saying, you know what, cancel the snap first, whatever. Because if you look at when Josh signaled to David Edwards that there's going to be, you don't have to go back, but if you look at when he signaled there's going to be a blitz coming from the left side, he knew it was coming.
Mm-hmm.
And Edwards picked it up. He picked it up, but
I just want to see what they saw, right? Because they called the shift.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they were looking at
because he showed at that point. He showed when Coleman went in motion.
Okay, so they probably thought that Judon was dropping in the coverage then, and they would send.
No, he knew, because that's why he put Ty Johnson in. He pulled Ty Johnson and put him in max protect. Because he had Ty Johnson go out. Why? If you run it back further.
Well, I get what you're saying. I guess what I'm getting at is how did Spencer Brown miss his assignment so heavily?
Well, I didn't look at let me see Spence, because I know right at this point in time he called in. Let's see.
Like
I don't know what Spencer's doing. I have no idea.
That's what I'm saying. Like how do you just commit to blocking left because you're told to? Like you don't take a second to see who's rushing in it. Like you already know your guy Torrance has got it. If the whole line is shifting left, basically your job is to make sure that you don't get beat on Torrance's right side.
I hear you.
Right.
Hear you.
And so at that point, if you know that and you play it that way, then you should still have enough time to react to Judon going to your running back. You know what I'm saying? Like Spencer Brown could have easily cleaned up Matthew Judon at this point, gotten him out of the way. Now Josh can break out to the right hand side, and who knows what happens after that. But that's, to me, that's the real issue here. Is I get what Josh is supposed to read. I get what Josh is supposed to do. My criticism is always going to continue to be, what are they doing around Josh? Because we know Josh can ball. We've seen it. We've seen Josh be at such a level where he is absolutely unstoppable. So for us to be trying to put, any kind of blame, in my mind, put any kind of blame on Josh for being frantic in the pocket and not trusting it. Hell, I don't trust it, and I don't even play for these boys. Like, I don't blame him for having happy feet against an offensive line that's not picking up blocks the right way.
Well, I mean, I get it, but in this regard, like I said, that's a quick hitter that could have been thrown. That definitely was a blitz beater. What is the next one you have?
So the next sack is this one here.
Okay, just doing this again. All right,
hold on. Maybe if we I just refreshed. Let's see if it comes back up. Loading video. All right.
Okay, this one, you stop it just for a moment there. This one, I think I titled this one the Shakir flip mode, because this one I said just throw the ball to Shakir in the gap. Never mind that. But I got something even worse than that.
Okay.
Watch. Okay, let me ask you this. You know about basketball, football, hockey, I'm sure. When a zone is vacated, when something's vacated, what do you do? So if somebody leaves a zone on the ice or on the football field, or on the basketball court,
okay,
you fill that zone, right? You attack that zone that's vacated, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, run this play. Now there's no frills here. There's nothing here that we're looking at. I want you to watch. I'm going to tell you when to stop. Wait, is this
the same one?
This is the same play.
Yeah.
That's all I tripped, right?
Why did it do that? Okay, hold on.
You can do it. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we know the blitz is coming. Look where Josh is looking. Right at Dawson Knox.
At Knox?
You're looking right. Well, he can see them both, obviously.
Okay.
He's looking right at Dawson Knox. Dawson Knox sat down in the route because he saw Judon blitz, or he saw Brooks blitz.
Yeah, this is him right here.
Yeah. So Dawson Knox broke his route off to sit down in the zone that was vacated. Right there, he took off. Now, if he would have thrown the ball the way Knox was positioned, it would have left him one-on-one with the cornerback. 23.
No, I'm sorry. This is Brooks right here.
I'm sorry. Yeah. That must be
or the safety.
What's the other guy's name? Yeah, it could be the safety.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you look at Knox's body position before, when he sat down, that was a perfect position for him to either throw the ball. If Josh wanted to get freaky with it, I don't condone it, but he could have thrown the ball to Elijah Moore on the slant. But right there, Dawson Knox is showing his hands, and he's saying, "You're being blitzed. You're under duress. Throw me the ball." And Josh says, "You know what? No, I'm gonna go over here." And this is to my defense why I said Shakir, because I'm looking at Josh if you let it go. I'm looking at where Josh is looking. He's looking at Shakir like, "Turn around, turn around." And by that time, it's over. Shakir's looking now. It's like it's a wrap. So you're right. That was not a play, but the play to be made was either Knox or Elijah Moore on the quick drop.
Oh, Moore was running a sluggo.
Yeah. So yeah, no. So it would have been Dawson Knox.
It would have had to
It would
have
have
been
been Knox. Yep.
Yeah.
And that would have left Knox wide open. No, not wide open. That would have left Knox one-on-one with the cornerback. I like those odds.
Yeah, I mean, Knox did a good job. He opened himself up. He saw the blitz coming. Yeah, I mean, Josh is already looking that way.
Yeah, he had, and like you like to say, look at his position. He in a throwing position.
Yeah,
he ready to do it. And he said, you know what? Don't like it.
He's done it before in that moment. I mean, the defender's not right in his face. He's got plenty of space to, well, that's not a throw he really needs to step into.
But see, I think that's what you just said is why I said Shakir. What you just said is why I said Shakir. When you said he's in a million times. That's that big play that's like, how did you do that? If you dropped it in that bucket, it's almost impossible. How did you do that? But those are those wild players that make him the MVP. Yeah. And so whereas when I look at it again, I'm like, never mind that one. But yeah, that Knox play, I should have been it. Now, the last play would be the interception. I didn't even look at that one. Don't worry about that because that was just Deion Dawkins. He's got a key to the city now, though. Yeah, just go to the interception. That Deion Dawkins got destroyed.
Okay. I just wanted people to see.
Oh, how he's jumping on his back?
Yep.
I mean, he got us the first down out of it, though.
Okay.
I love doing this show with you. So this, while you're finding, just push it and find the interception tab somewhere in there. Not.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is Tua's interception. My bad. So these are all the interceptions here.
Okay, it's the second one. Cover one, actually, I credit them with this one. They did an excellent write-up. Pause this for a second there. The excellent write-up on this play. I love it. And I told her, I said, Laura, you gotta watch it. Like, Key, I'm sick. I don't care about that. Watch this episode and tell me what you think when you see it. I never really watched Cover One, but this episode spoke to me. It really did. It's called Josh Allen, the Bills passing game struggles in Miami. If you can find it, watch it. It breaks down so much and it shows you so much that the mere person wouldn't see. But what we're seeing right now is what they call, and this is them talking, I'm going to say it as best I can. You're looking at what we know as cover zero. Okay, this is cover zero, and we're going to see in a moment that this is actually man. I think Shakir goes in motion so you can run it. Shakir goes in motion to confirm right now we're running man. Pause. Okay, so what I say, anytime we're in the red zone, this is Keon territory. Mm-hmm. This is Keon territory. Keon Coleman is supposed to get this ball because he runs the man beater here. If you watch the play, they vacate whoever that linebacker is or whoever this is just at the bottom of the M at the goal line. Oh, he's gonna vacate whatever covers he has. Keon Coleman is a second-round draft pick.
He blitzes, right?
I believe so. Yep.
Yeah, he blitzes.
So Keon Coleman is a second-round draft pick. He's a high point guy. He's a big physical body. He's supposed to be anyway. Right now, look at Josh's head. Josh knows they're running man. Josh knows it's cover zero. And Josh knows that M is going to be wide open. The M by the I.
Well, he's not.
That's ugly.
He's not looking that way.
That's what I'm getting at. But the M by the second M by the second I, because I said M by the I, but the first it starts with that too. I'm an idiot. But right now, Josh has to look at Keon. Keon's like, that's me. He knows at this point he should be the first read because they're running man with cover zero. Josh looks over here at this long developing play to Shavers, and the rest is history. Whereas if you look at, we talked about the Keon Coleman coefficient here. Keon Coleman could either get a pass interference, Keon Coleman can make a play, or Keon Coleman can drop the ball. If he drops the ball, he's garbage as everybody says he already is. But that ball has to get out to the top of that M. It has to get out there to the top of the M. But see, Josh didn't. I don't know why he didn't realize it was a cover zero man.
I don't know. I understand how you see that. I do. But again, I keep looking at how the defender played that route. He played the slant against a bigger receiver as well as you could possibly play it. He immediately got underneath and he was watching the receiver for a high point pass because he took away the leading pass, right? By immediately getting under the receiver, he takes away that quick inside pass. It's got to go high and away. And if you look at the position that he's in at that point now, he's already hooked him. So he's back into the play. Even if the ball is already out as the defender comes under the play, Keon's still got to come down with that ball. It's still I guess I'm looking at it from the perspective of it's still a 50-50 shot either way.
And my thing is what you just said. I think Keon wins that route, but Keon Coleman at this point in time gets a chance to do what he's drafted to do, that 50-50 shot you're talking about. And like I said, if he misses it, he drops it, he's as garbage as everybody says he is. He's not worth a second round.
Yeah, but I think people think that about him already because we're seeing like doing that up and down the field. Like, forget the end zone. We throw jump balls to him all the time, and he doesn't come down with half of them.
Well, I mean, half of them are terrible throws too.
Well, that too. But again, I think at this point in the game, because again, this is third quarter, right? Josh has been getting harassed all game long. Like I said, the defender, like you can't play this route no better against a bigger receiver. Like, yeah, like at this point, that's when you would want to throw the ball,
right?
But again, Josh, based on the read,
right.
And
Yep.
Josh is right. Like, Shavers does come open where he's supposed to, and Josh had time to step into the throw, it is a touchdown. So, like, I can't say Josh was wrong, because when you look at the play, the receiver got open, he was where he was supposed to be. Josh just couldn't step into the throw. Why? Because his offensive line continues to not understand how to block blitzes.
I take this back to what Joe Brady said, though. You know, if they're showing man, we got to run man beaters. He said that, and then he followed up with somebody asked him in his press conference. So how do you handle having those tough conversations with Josh Allen? How do you handle those conversations? He said, he went into his spiel about not being a BS guy, and they respect that. I don't care.
Josh knows when I'm not happy with him.
Right. And I think this is the kind of play that he's talking about, because this is the epitome of a man beater. And like you said, a lot of things can happen. If he's already hooked him once, he's probably going to mug him again. That's the way I look at it. He's probably going to mug him again. And if he doesn't, Keon's got a chance to show people what he's about.
But why? Okay, I'm trying to understand why you want this so much. Like, why do you want Keon here so much?
Okay, let's put player B. I want that throw because it's a cover zero. The cover zero, the middle of the field is open.
But so is Shavers. Like,
he's not open there. This is my thing. By the time Shavers comes open, as you just said, Josh is being mugged all day. That's too long of a route. He's running a faked out. So he's got to come all the way around the pattern and look at. This is short side of the field.
Okay, you either want Josh to trust the offense and stay in the pocket, or you don't. You can't have both.
I know. I want him to stay in the pocket and hit the man beater.
A minute before, you said he broke out of the pocket too early. He should have stepped up and found the open receiver.
Right.
Here he is trying to give his receiver time in man coverage. The receiver did win the route. Josh was looking in the right place. And had he had a chance to step into the throw, it is a touch. Like, you can't look at this.
Looking in the right place, though. The right place is the M. The vacated. Like I said, you got to vacate. That's where you put the ball. That's
in certain situations. That's not just across the board.
In a cover zero.
Yes, if you have a route combination, or if you have a play call that's going to immediately put somebody in that spot, then yeah, you and me. Okay, blitz is coming here. My hot is right there. That's what it's called. You look for the hot on cover zero, on really any blitz. You look for the hot.
I know.
But in this particular situation, they felt they had it blocked, and Josh felt he had enough time. And that's not on Josh to look to the receiver that was supposed to be coming open at the back of the end zone. On top of that, you want Josh to just blindly trust a 50-50 ball to Keon Coleman in the third quarter when they had no points and they're trying to catch up in the game.
So how do you make that point when he throws an interception?
What do you mean?
He's trying to throw. You say, how do I trust him to throw a blind 50-50 ball? He didn't even get the ball to the person because the route that you say is right took too long to develop. It took way too long to develop. So he should have went to the quick route, which is the man beater on the right side. But you can put anybody you want over there.
But Josh still feels, whether it's based on what they've done in practice or whatever it is that's causing Josh to trust Shavers over Coleman in this instance, first and foremost, says a lot about Josh's trust in Coleman.
Sure.
And secondly, says a lot about his belief that this play is going to work. So I don't think it's, again, if the offensive line holds up against a 6-man blitz and gives Josh enough time, this is a touchdown. Like, I understand you go to the open spot, but again, here, while we have the tape frozen, because again, the NFL happens at blazing speeds. So while we are sitting here talking about Keon Coleman at this point is open, watch this. Now he's not.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's not. I literally unclicked the button for half a second, clicked it again, and now he's not open.
Where's Shavers though?
Shavers is getting open. Look at
he's
Josh.
Already throwing the ball. That's
right.
That's rubbish.
What?
That's rubbish. That he's not even close. He doesn't know what he's not even his break yet, and the guy's got his hands on him. So it's the same effect.
Josh doesn't throw with anticipation.
It's the same effect,
bro. You just said.
I know that. So where's the anticipation of Coleman? If you're running a cover zero, you know where the open is. You know where the gap is, right and wrong. If you read the field, you know there's a cover zero.
What if both options were right?
Then we had a touchdown.
That's not true. Both options were right.
No, they weren't.
Based on what we're saying, right. Both receivers came open.
Mm-hmm.
So had he gone to Coleman, that would have been the right call. Had he gone to Shavers came open. That's still the right call.
I don't know, man. All right.
I mean, I'm just like we're splitting hairs over preference at this point, because
I just know the concept of a cover zero is like I said on the last play, when you blitz, there's an opening. You attack the opening, and that's the opening. Right now, you got 3 receivers in a small bunch.
Right, but that's why I said if you don't trust the guy, that you don't blindly trust the concept past not trusting the receiver. Not trusting the receiver can get in the way of, well, I know I'm supposed to go here, but based on how we ran this play in practice, I know my guy over there is going to get open and beat his man. I can trust that. I'm going to wait for it to come open, and I'm going to go there.
So if Josh waits for it to come open when you stated that he has been getting beat up while he's got happy feet because he's getting hit, why would he be waiting for something to come open? Why would he have the trust in his offensive line to have something come open if he knows he doesn't have time or the confidence in his offensive line?
Because he just got through halftime with Sean McDermott probably screaming at everybody to trust the damn process.
Right, but where is this in the game?
It's third quarter.
Third quarter. He's probably gotten
third quarter, 6:05 left in the quarter.
Okay, third and 6:05 in the quarter. So he's been getting beaten up all game, we'll say. So if he's getting beat up all day, you want to throw the ball faster. Now, Knox is not the play, we know that.
Yeah, but
Shakir's not the play, we know that. Shavers, you want to wait all day for that to come alive? Go ahead, do your thing. But that's I just don't. That's not it for me. I don't know.
Okay, but again, that's why I said I think it just comes down to preference, because when you watch the tape, both guys came open at different points, right? But Josh's decision to go to Shavers may not have been your preference. It doesn't mean he was wrong, right? What you're basing it off of is the letter of the law, right? The letter of the law says that against this coverage, this is what you do across the board, right? That's supposed to be the reaction. What I'm trying to say is Josh especially colors outside the lines a lot of times, and we praise him for it. So I don't want to get so bent on a moment like this where he stayed inside the lines and tried to trust his receiver to come open. He colored outside the lines and tried to trust his receiver to come open instead of just hit the hot again, to a guy that I don't really trust all like that. Like the logistics, the relationships, the chemistry, all that stuff comes into play. That's why we don't live by just the letter of the law. There's the spirit of the law too. There's the interpretation of it. That's why we have a legal system for people to delineate and deliberate and try to reach the truth, because really it's about the truth. And the truth in this situation here is the offensive line has not been doing him a favor all game long. And this is one of those times where he stayed in the pocket and tried to trust his guy, and it just didn't work out. It's not to say that he's wrong or he made a bad read or whatever the case was. Keon might feel that way, but I think that's really based on what you would have wanted to see in that situation, not necessarily what you have to do against a certain coverage. Because going to Keon Coleman in any circumstance has not proven to be a reliable thing. That's all I'm saying.
I get it, but the last thing I'll just say about that is I'm not going to say trust the process. I'm not.
Sounds like that's what you want.
No. But I mean, in this regard, if you get what you want, you see what what you're looking at. It was just too long of a developing play. It was too much to chance. To me, that was a YOLO ball.
I get it.
And that's kind of where I was. That ball was out of his hand before Shaver's stem. Yeah, I know. Most predictable offense in the NFL. As a matter of fact, Keon caught a high point back shoulder touchdown. Josh is selling. Let's see. I say what you want about Keon. He may not make every catch, but he sure as hell pulls interference penalties, which gets he does pull interference penalties. That's true.
Yeah.
But didn't Keon get a touchdown in this game? Yes.
That was a deep throw, though.
That they said it doesn't matter. It was garbage.
Yeah.
Before we got on that, you were about to talk about the Bucs D. So, Schmitty, we're not doing that. Just because you said that, we're not talking about anything about the Bucs D.
We got a little bit of time left to talk about the Bucs game, I think.
Rose, he wanted to go there. Alton, I'll take the 50-50 ball at 100%. Beth, let's see what else. Beth, I won $50 square last week. Hey, well, send us something.
So let me ask you this, bro. How
99 cent super chat.
How do is there really a 99 cent
I don't
super
think
chat?
So.
That would be hilarious. First of all, I don't even know if they allow 99 cent super chats.
How do you tax that? Anyway,
send you guys two quarters, 3 dimes, and 4 nickels. No, I don't even know if that's. There's some pennies in there somewhere. Don't make me math. How do the Bills fix their offense going into this game? Because we know they had that they had a philosophical change last season. Keon Coleman told us they started doing some different things with their route concepts and stuff like that. What in your mind, what do the Bills have to do different offensively in order to solve this?
You're gonna hate this.
Run the ball more?
No, they got to play in structure.
Ooh,
I know they got to play in structure because the way I see this is this: the deep balls that Nate, I hate you so much. He said deep balls. Ha ha. Can't use pennies anymore. That's true. No more pennies. I don't know how
they got rid of pennies?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Pennies are no more.
What? When did this happen?
A couple of days ago.
Are you serious?
Yeah. We ended the government shutdown and no pennies.
Oh, so no more pennies because it's shut down?
No,
or
they're doing what they were talking about it for a while though. They were talking about it for a while. Yeah, no pennies. So yeah, there's no more printing of pennies. So whatever happens after that, when they start rubbing it to flat tiddlywinks of copper, hey, that's it.
Well, probably because the price of copper is going up more and more every year.
Mm-hmm.
Save all your pennies, folks.
Oh yeah. I told Ken that. Don't even pull that out the pocket.
Yep.
Let's see. So the Bucs, real quick.
Schmitty said it was costing 4 cents to print one.
Yeah.
4 cents to print 1 cent.
Yep.
Yeah, I was right. Look at that. I guessed right. Alton says Keon should run only slants and breaking route. Yeah, but then he would just at that point just rip the name off the back of his jersey and put Davis on the back, and it's the same guy. All in breaking routes. That's all Davis runs. You got rid of Davis to bring in the same guy? No.
They did that with they did that with Up and Us and Rousseau. They did that with. They just keep doing that with everyone.
Yeah.
Like reprint doesn't work. Let's try to get another guy just like him.
Exactly.
So I bet dollars to donuts Keon Coleman in a different system would be decent. And I wasn't even a fan of Keon Coleman when he first got drafted. But anyway, so I was watching the Patriots game with Tampa Bay, and boy, oh boy, I tell you, I got so many thoughts and emotions from that game.
Which game?
The Patriots Tampa Bay game.
Oh my God! All right, let's have it.
You know how I feel about those Samoans. You know how I feel about those Samoans, boy. That boy they had in New England. That I forget his name. Oh snap!
The linebacker?
No, the defense 95, the one that plays. Yeah. Let Beth cook.
Let Beth cook. Never thought I would hear those words in a sentence. Let Beth cook.
But yeah, no, I forgot his last name, but I mean he was a lead blocker in Travion Henderson's touchdown, well, almost touchdown. He was a hell of a run stopper for for the Patriots. And then you got Vita Vea, of course, who say less. That's everything you want. I mean, he's quick off the line, 350 pounds. This is what people think you're getting out of Deion Walker, which is not true. No problem with that. It's fine. Deion Walker doesn't have the base to play like that. You did
5,000 pennies.
There you go.
Thank you. Actually, I'll take the 5,000 pennies now. That copper's going to be worth something in about 4 years.
But yeah, I think they have. I noticed too that they had.
Roy's such a hater.
Yes.
Minus 30% for YouTube. You're right.
Probably.
But don't hate, man.
I don't even know how that works.
Sorry, I didn't mean to disrupt your.
No, you're good.
Point.
I mean, you look at Tampa Bay, and they're not afraid. They're not afraid to play anybody. They had Benjamin Morrison from Notre Dame, 2nd-round rookie, and they had Parrish from Kansas State, the 5th-round rookie, I believe, playing at the same time against Steph Diggs, Matt Collins, who's tearing them to shreds, who's other Kyle Williams. They had rookies playing against these guys. Could you imagine a world where McDermott puts Dorian Strong, if he's healthy, obviously, and Max Harrison on the field at the same time? I can't. Can you? I can't see it. He put Dane Jackson out there. He put Dane Jackson out there before he put those 2 rookies out there. I dollars don't see do it. But they don't really hit the quarter. Well, they don't sack the quarterback often. I think Yaya Diaby is their leading sacker with 4 sacks. They sound a lot like Buffalo. They got a couple 2.5 sack guys in there. Obviously they do have good cornerbacks. Levante David, as always. But I think this is a game where even though they are good against the run, James Cook can get going on them. If you look at what Travion Henderson did, I think I could see James Cook hitting that gap and getting out of there, hitting that second gear and going. I can see it. So this could be a good game for James Cook, depending on what offensive line wants to run today on Sunday.
I hope so, bro. Because what I know of that Bucs defense and what I've seen them do to the run game, it's not pretty. And to be perfectly honest, I think it's probably going to be a lot of the stuff that they did against the Panthers, running those sweeps. That's going to have to be how they win. Unfortunately, they put a lot of that stuff on tape and they ran a lot. They ran so much of that in that 40 point, that 31 point beat down of the Panthers, that it would be hard for the Buccaneers not to be ready for that. You know what I'm saying? And here's the other thing. They run that sweep against the Panthers because my boy, who's the defensive tackle they got?
Who?
The Panthers. Is it Bobby Brown?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Bobby Brown, like that. That's a bad boy. You run away from that boy, right? So I think the Bills are probably going to take a similar approach and try to just run away from wherever Vea is. The tough part about that though is they're playing against an odd front, and when you're playing against an odd front, hitting that edge is actually a little tougher than playing against a base front. You know what I'm saying? Because the secondary defender or the second line of defense is so far back from the line of scrimmage that it's a little bit easier for your offensive line to kind of break off and wall off the edges against the base front, as opposed to having a 6'5", 260 pound, 250, 260 pound.
You gotta get out faster. You gotta get out there.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And this guy is going to be, more athletic than your right tackle or your left tackle is. So,
I expect a lot of zone running.
Yeah, it's going to have to.
It has to be, because you can't gap runners. They're not athletic enough to get out there to a outside linebacker.
Right.
Yeah. So you like you said, you have to scheme that up. I don't want to see any complimentary run game. I want you to do what works, what's supposed to work against this game. I don't care if you go back to run up the gut, because James Cook showed you he's marvelous both ways. So that's something I think they really need to scheme up the run game, because the pass game is anemic, and I don't see a way or a world where that's going to lead us to the promised land.
Yeah. Steve, what's going on, man? Says it's almost like this offense is being designed by a defensive mind who knows nothing about offense and just using a puppet who put together a hodgepodge of basic plays, basic pass plays, and a whole lot of run. I read that and I'm like, it's funny. I get the joke and I love the point because again, I think it's very clear now, and everybody's been saying this, that Brady has a hard time making in-game adjustments. Like, we've seen too much of that now.
He even said as much on his presser this week. He didn't say in those words, but he said, he said, I got to be better. And that's what he said. He said, we have to figure out what's working. We can't run a bunch of just plays just to run them. We have to run plays that we know are pointed and will work. We have to game plan better is what he said. Right. That falls on him. And that's why when he says, I'm like, you're right. It falls on you because what you're saying is not empty. Whether you do anything about it, that's different. But at least you recognize that it's not empty.
But no, Nate, no, we're not bringing in Desmond Watson.
He did that for Billy D, I'm sure.
Oh, okay, probably. So I think when you have three minds designing this offense, it's very hard to game plan, right? Because like I said in post-podium conversations, your run game coordinator is Aaron Kromer. And in my conversation with Coach D, he couldn't be with us today. I do apologize for that. He had a
engagement.
He had a previous engagement that he forgot about. So he should be back next week, but we'll see. But anyway, I can say this now in my conversations with him. He did say, like, because I asked him outright. I said, is Kromer calling the run plays and then Brady's calling the pass plays, or like how's that? And he said, no. What most likely is happening right now is Aaron Kromer is on the mic telling Brady what run plays he likes. In if they decide to run, like, so if Sean gets on the mic and says we're going to run here, Aaron Kromer's probably already on the mic saying, all right, I like this play and I like that play for this down and distance. And then Brady is kind of looking through the playbook and talking that out with Kromer. And then he picks the play, right? But again, that's based on the recommendation of Aaron Kromer. Now, what's interesting about this is a lot of what we've seen this season in particular is the team having a hard time getting out of the huddle with enough time to get to the line and make all the calls and snapping the ball on time. Like, that's really been a big deal for this team this season, right? Last season, we didn't see that much, that nearly as much, right? Why? Because Joe Brady was running that offense. He was allowed to just go, right? There was a little bit of emphasis like, hey, I want to see some running the ball, whatever, okay, fine, right? But a lot of what they did last year was to try and accommodate two running backs, right? So I'm saying all this to say, you have an offensive system run by three people that makes the communication take longer, that makes the play calls take longer to get to the quarterback, that pushes your timeline back on the play clock. Like, it's no wonder we're having these issues. This is why you got too many hands in the pot right now. And you're either going to trust Brady the rest of the season and fire him if he still fails, but he got a chance to run his show, in the same way that Sean has had a chance to take over play calls. And if I'm going to go down, I'm going to go down calling my own plays. You got to give Brady that shot. Either you're going to let him do that, or you're going to handcuff him the rest of the season. You're going to take way more L's doing what you're doing, and everybody might be gone.
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious at how the Rams did it the year they won the Super Bowl. They had McVay, they had offensive game coordinator and a pass game coordinator. So they basically had three offensive coordinators there too. Mm-hmm. But they made it work. So it's like it's got to be more concise. One has to be the pass guy. One has to be. So McDermott says, "I want to run." Okay, that's Kromer, that's you. What do you got? Mm-hmm. Never mind, Brady. What do you got? I want to pass. Shut up, Kromer. Brady, what you got? And that's how it has to go, because we have a commiseration. And now by the time we're out of the huddle, we got 10 seconds. We got Judon blitzing over here. How do we make a blitz? Yeah. Or how do we make an adjustment? Now you got people doing all this stuff and they don't know timeout. Yeah. And that's where those dumb McDermott timeouts come from, because it takes too long.
Yeah. Yeah, the one thing I will say about Sean McVay is he's the one calling the plays.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And here's the other part of that. It's his offense.
Mm-hmm.
I could understand if this was all Brady's offense, right? But we know like Brady doesn't have he didn't have these kind of runs built into his offense. Like it's not part of the design of how Sean Payton runs offense, basically, is what I'm trying to say. And so when we think about Joe Brady's offense in Carolina, when we think about what he was doing as a pass game coordinator at LSU, he didn't deal with the run a lot. You know what I'm saying? And it showed because his run game in general was very suspect in the NFL in particular. And so it is understandable why Sean wanted to get somebody else to help him with the run game. But at the same time, you if you're going to do it, you got to do it like Sean McVay did it. Hey, listen, this is my offense. You know what I'm saying? You can help me to design certain things, but on Sundays, you off the mic. I shouldn't be hearing what you like. I shouldn't be hearing what sounds good to you. What makes you want to play with tiddlywinks.
There you go.
None of that. I don't want to hear none of that.
We gotta get a game going. We're gonna put it on YouTube.
But that's a major problem is the lack of organization within your organization. You got your offensive coordinator having to wait for two other people to give input. It's going to hamper you. And we're seeing the most suffering this offense has had since what? 2018?
Mm-hmm.
So last time we saw an offense that was this bad, and that's because we had a
rookie quarterback, no wide receivers. 2019 was bad, but then 2020 changed it all. The funny thing about this is we actually, I hate to admit it, but we actually have had our best offenses under what's the guy? Dayball, obviously, and then the other guy that I don't want to talk about, Dorsey.
I mean, by slivers, bro.
Like, well, passing wise, it's monumental. It's monumental passing wise. I looked the numbers of it. It sucks how much different it is. It's because I don't want to give him no credit, but I have to, and I saw this.
As far as I'm concerned, I get what you're saying. As far as I'm concerned, it's Dayball's offense. I'm still giving.
No, yeah, for sure.
Like I'm still giving Dayball credit for that. Once we went to the 12, okay, now it's Dorsey.
Yeah, and I think when somebody asked in the comments earlier, why were we okay last year but not this year? Because nobody saw this last year. There was no tape last year.
Yep.
You know,
it's a brand new offense.
Yeah. No, like they came off of Diggs. They're dead in the water. Wait, everybody eats. What does that mean? Somebody show us. Somebody tell us. Nobody knows because like I showed you on Monday when they say everybody eats. They run RPO. They run Air Choreo. They run West Coast. We run everybody eats.
That's a good point, Roy. That's a good point. No, nobody want to talk about that.
You know they don't because they got to admit.
They would have to admit. That's right. That's a great point. Dayball and Dorsey had Diggs.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to talk about that. Let me see. Are we back to hoping for 21 points per game? Yes, we are officially back there. And
not 30. What are you bitching about?
Stop, please. I mean, honestly,
that's my shirt. That's my shirt. It's gonna say it's on the front or back. It's gonna say 30 ppg, and on the front on the opposite side, it's gonna say, "What are you bitching about?"
Okay, send me a reminder.
I got you. I'm about to design it and everything.
Okay, when you
at work, I'm not even meeting planes tonight. I'm just gonna send it to you.
I'll tell you what, even better, just download the Canva app. It's free.
Mm-hmm.
You can play it. Well, do you know how to do all that stuff?
I'm sure I'll figure it out.
Okay, all right. So download the Canva app on your phone, and you'll be able to do a little design. Send it to me. I can put it right on the shirt. We good to go.
Okay,
we're good to go.
And I'm ordering it.
Steve Lynch says, what I don't like is the dishonesty of using Brady as a shield puppet to call the McDermott offense to want to make the calls and then hide so fans don't know. Look, this is not unheard of from Sean McDermott. I think when you look at what he's done with the defense, it's actually very rare and refreshing to have heard Bobby Babbage clearly come out and say in a press conference, this is Sean's scheme. Like, not even Frazier said that. And we knew, even at that point, like, this is, remember the deep dive that we did on the types of defenses that Frazier ran and what his rankings were and what Sean McDermott does and what he did in Philly and what he did in Carolina. Like, this is Sean's scheme even back when Frazier was here. From day one, it's always been Sean's scheme. The only time that it was not Sean's ideal scheme was 2017 when he had to work with players that weren't his. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the only time that this is not bad, because right after that, with roster surgery, they got rid of everybody. They switched to a nickel defense. That from that point on, it was Sean's show. So this has been happening on the defensive side for years. This is nothing new. I think we're just now starting to see his implementation, his influence on the offensive side, and it's terrible.
Go ahead.
No, you go.
No, Lindsay.
Okay. Lindsay, what's going on? He talked to you in a while. Says to our fan base, would rather see the Bills fail to make the playoffs. Oh my God, yes. Would rather see the Bills fail to make the playoffs this season than to make the playoffs and then exit in the wild card. Better chance of firing McDermott if we miss the playoffs. Listen.
Dang, she got 2 sounds?
Full round of applause for that one. Full round of, because I'm not the only one saying it now. That's why she gets, because I'm not the only one. And I know Steve has been saying it, you know what I'm saying? But like, this is one more person that hasn't said it yet and is now here. What did he say? If it's that easy, Keys needs his Elmo and Hell t-shirt. It's already made. It's already made. It's up there, bro.
It's up there.
You should get you one.
I'm gonna get one. I'm gonna wear it so y'all can see it. Yeah, Elmo and Hell was in red, black, and like green or something like that. But yeah, Elmo and Hell was there.
Those are all the colors you picked too, by the way.
The green was weird, but you know the rest of
it is kind of weird. Yeah, it is.
Lick. Okay, no, it's Leak. My bad, Leak.
Yep.
Also, we have to admit, Josh isn't taking an easy profit like last year. He's top 5 in air yards per attempt, despite not having a deep threat as a wide receiver. Okay, so this is what I did take from the podcast that we were on Monday without knowing we were on Monday. Did it come out of your nose? Anyway, no. Tommy did say, and I'm glad he said it because I can't quote it, but it's okay because it was a good point. He said, Josh Allen, when talking about the easy stuff and whatever, he said, I don't do check downs. I'm not going to become captain check down. That's not who I am. That's not who I've ever been. So basically the stuff, the 4 or 5 yard stuff, that hot stuff that is a catch and probably a loss anyway, he's not doing it. So Josh is not and has said on record that he does not want to take the check down stuff. So until he really gets creamed, then forget about it. Or maybe when he's like 35 or something like that, then he'll be like, okay.
Alton, I am efforting, bro. I want to give you credit. I do like this one, though. It says they are peas in the pod. Either both stays or both go. Remember, McD got hired first and brought in Bean. Yeah, a lot of people forget that.
He brought in his journalist, buddy.
Yeah, they still think that this is a traditional franchise structure, and it's not. I mean, there's a bunch of coaches around the league now that all run the show. They are the boss, and the GM is just there to help them. Mm-hmm. Here it is. Okay, thank you so very much. Says, pardon me, wants them to lose to turn up the heat on McD and Pagula. The only way for him to give it, same exact thing. You copy this stuff, Laura. No, I'm just playing. Yeah, I mean, look. Steve said, I'm joining with Lindsay. Sherman, don't put private combos out there, you snitch. That's why I cheer for the Bills. I cheer against McDermott. Save Josh Allen's career. Yeah, I mean, look, that ultimately, and I'm gonna keep saying this until like I hear more people say it. The NFL is about the Jimmies and the Joes, not the X's and the O's. I don't care how well you scheme it up. If you don't have the players to run it, it's not going to work, McDermott.
You know what's funny about that? I actually titled the segment I had on Josh, just what we're talking about, Josh Allen, his offensive woes, and Joe Brady's offensive coaching and woes. I titled it, this isn't X's and O's, this is Josh's and Joe's. Mm-hmm. Because they're infighting, it seems, and Joe is in. Brady's got to go because at this point, I don't know how much hair he has under that hat, but it can't be much because he's got a quarterback that doesn't believe in him. He's got A quarterback doesn't believe in the stuff that he has on the field with him, whether it's his doing or not. He's got a boss that says, do more of what I want, even though it's not clear what I want at all.
So let me ask you this. So we fire Brady. You're okay with McDermott staying
For the rest of the year, or I'm not saying fire him. I'm not saying fire Brady. I'm just saying at this point in time, Brady's like, what am I doing this time in 2026?
Okay, so let's say we don't make the playoffs, right? Which I think is the most likely thing that's going to happen.
Okay.
We don't make the playoffs, and let's say in scenario one, we have Brady getting fired at the end of the season. We just don't think his offense was creative enough. We wish him well on his endeavors. He goes off and does whatever. It doesn't matter. At that point, the owner comes out and says, I don't know, something to the effect of, I still believe in Sean. We have a great relationship, and I believe he can get the job done, even though what that really means is he's got one more year in 2026 to try and prove it before we fire him and try to look for another guy. Are you content with Sean staying for 2026 or no? I
think I'm more content with Sean staying for 2026 than Bean. And here's why. This is not even a shot at Bean. Because Bean is a kind of guy that wants to wheel and deal. And if we know it's all or nothing, I don't want a guy in that position that's going to destroy our cap even further and use all our draft picks trying to save his job. And that's the thing that I'm worried about. With Sean, here nor there. I mean, for him, could we get a Vrabel that comes in right away and makes us a Super Bowl contender? Sure, we could. And I think that's the thing that I don't trust Pagula on, because Pagula is emotional. He likes to go extreme to extreme to negate the one before. He got Sean because it negated Rex. He got Rex because it negated Marone and the whole Ralph Wilson thing. We need because what was his name? Russ Brandon said we gotta be marketers. We gotta placate. So get Rex and big name. So Pagula's like, okay, I like him. He didn't work. Why didn't he work? Okay, we need somebody opposite him. So we got Sean. What's opposite Sean? Are we going back to a Rex type guy? And that's the thing that scares me. And it's a roundabout. I mean, I'm actually answering your question this time because I'm afraid of what firing Sean would do for us in 2026, even though it's just prolonging.
When you say what it would do for us, what do you think?
I don't trust. See, my problem is Pagula. So firing Sean, that's cool, but I don't trust Pagula to make things right.
So you don't think Pagula's capable of bringing a coach in here that can do things differently than Sean?
He might do things differently, but I don't know if he's going to do things better. So it might be like, so basically Sean did something differently than Rex.
Okay.
But in the end, the result was the same. No Super Bowl. Now we go ahead and do something different than Sean. And he's like, okay, good. I know what I do. I know what I got to do. I got to fix it. It was this. And that begets the same result, but a different way than Sean. So it's like, we're just spinning our wheels. And I'm like, what is your criteria now, Pagula? What is your history of hiring success?
Okay.
And I'm scared of that because I know people say Vince Carter, Josie Altidore, all those guys, but I'm scared of what could come by Pagula hiring somebody again. I'm not worried about Sean. Sean can go. But to me, that's just a place in a philosophy, the culture philosophy. But do I trust our owner to hire somebody that's a football guy that knows how to get this team to the promised land? And that's the question I ask myself.
So okay. I want to table that for 10 seconds before I lose this thought. So and we got to get going. So if Bean doesn't make it, right? If Sean finds a way to put the blame on Bean and Bean gets fired. Actually, no, let's not even go with that scenario. Based on what we've seen and what you've even reported a couple of times, Terrence Gray is the assistant general manager right now. Do you think that he could do a better job at selecting players than Brandon Bean in the draft?
Yeah.
Okay.
And if they did that, because Terrence Gray has a background. I know where you're going with this. He has a background in player development, background in evaluation, background, and now cap, because we still got Jim Overdorf, who is the cap guy. If you tell me Pagula says Terrence Gray, you're promoted. You're hot in these streets. You burning it up. We want you to stay. Bean, hit the bricks. TG, come here. We got this guy McDermott over here. What do you think? Can you work with this or no? If he says that, let's do it. But I don't think Pagula's going to say, you make the call.
Again, what I'm presenting here is based on everything you're saying as far as our owner being, and I've said this before too, based on what we know about Pagula, he's about relationships, right? Which is very important, which is why I mentioned Terrence Gray. He's in-house. Pagula already knows him. There's a relationship there. I think Pagula would trust putting the assistant general manager up to a general manager position, especially when he's been the assistant now for a full year and been in the department working with all these people. There would be a lot of continuity there. The other thing I would suggest for McDermott, it's been reported that Brian Daboll had a much better relationship with the Pagulas than Sean did when he was here.
What? What'd you say?
I said Brian Daboll had a much better relationship with the Pagulas than Sean had when both of them were here, when Daboll was first hired.
That just changes everything. Now, if that was the case, and you say I can get Terrence, well, as long as Daboll don't say let's get Joe Shane back.
No, let's say
Terrence Gray and Daboll?
Yeah.
Tenderism.
Yes.
Tenderism.
Yes.
He's out of here. Josh Allen can go play throwing YOLO balls and winning games again and tenderism.
That's it.
However, you can't have tenderism unless you got that Reese tea.
Unless you got that
Reese tea. I don't make the rules. I just follow them. Reese tea is one part refreshing, one part delicious, 2 parts healthy. That's what you expect when there's only 4 ingredients. I don't even drink tea, and let me tell you, that's a good drink there. What are you doing? Head over to Reese Tea. Get yourself a supply by the case or individual. Or if you get yourself an individual, get yourself the case. You won't be disappointed. What do I know? See for yourself. Reese Tea. Click the link in the description below. Use the code PPP to let them know who sent you.
All right, let's get it. And breathe for a minute. All right, if you're hearing that music, that means it's time for us to jump out the window. What I need everybody to do right now, more important than anything else, is hit that like button. I need as many thumbs as I can possibly get. It costs you nothing. There's no investment. You don't have to worry about our videos taking up your home space on your YouTube channel, like your personal, For You feed and all that kind of stuff. We're not even asking for subscriptions right now. We need likes, right? Likes. We need as many thumbs as we got in here right now. If I can get 43, I'm happy. If I can get 40, I'm happy. I just need likes, okay? Forget the subscriptions. If you want to, you can. Great. That's more for, if you want to continue to watch us and all that kind of stuff. Cool. We'll take it. We will not turn that away. Also, hitting that bell for notifications, making that thing
Ring-a-ling-a-ling
is solely for you. We don't get no benefits out of that at all. We put out a notification or we make some sort of changes or something like that. You are the only one that benefits from having that bell on. So that's something that you can do that is absolutely for you. Everything else that you need to know about us is in the description of this video. You want to get to Hi Mike High Tech, who handles all of our IT needs whenever we need something repaired or built or whatever the case may be. Questions, concerns, consulting. HighMikeHighTech.com is the way to go with that one. And obviously you heard Reese Tea, at ReeseSweetTea.com is the website. You can go there. You can order a case. I think they're going to start making 8-packs available if you want to order those, something a little bit smaller. So definitely keep an eye out for that. If you have any questions about the website or anything, feel free to hit us up in direct message on any social media platform. With that being said, we got to get out of here. Key's about to get fired.
Definitely.
So this has been the Post Podium Podcast, home of the all truth, no sodium takes. For Schmitty, our producer, I am your co-host, Aramis.
It's 40 Keys, and no, my Twitter doesn't work. I don't know why, so just hit me somewhere else.
All right, that'll work. Y'all have a great night. Peace.